Welcome to our channel, a collection of fascinating stories, in-depth analysis, and the most dramatic predictions about today's blockbuster movies. If you are a fan of surprising movie stories, thrilling plots and breathtaking psychological confrontations, then this is the destination you cannot miss. In today's article, we will explore a mysterious and dramatic story revolving around Doug and Leslie, two people, two fates intersecting in a bloody tragedy and full of unrevealed secrets. Stay tuned so you don't miss the most thrilling episodes of Beyond the Gates. Doug has long carried the pain of losing his father, a deep, indelible mental wound. The love and memories of his late father have always been an important part of his life. But everything changed when he discovered the shocking truth. Leslie, the person he once trusted and believed in, was the one behind his father's tragic death. At first, Doug could not accept the truth. He spent days in confusion, tormented by mixed emotions, anger, betrayal, and a deep pain of being betrayed by the person he once considered a close friend. Leslie, with her normal and charming appearance, hid her dark past with elaborate lies, keeping Doug lost in a spiral of false trust. But now, the truth is like a sharp knife cutting straight into his heart, making him unable to keep his mind. Doug begins his journey to find justice and revenge. He not only wanted to expose Leslie in front of everyone but also wanted to make her pay the price for her crimes. Day by day, Doug traveled far and wide, collecting evidence, approaching people who knew Leslie to exploit every little detail, every hidden piece of her past. Each clue he found made him more angry and determined. However, at the same time, Leslie did not stand still and accept the blow. She knew clearly that if the truth was exposed, everything would collapse. Leslie began to play psychological games, even threatening people around Doug to make him waver. But instead of being afraid, Doug became stronger, more determined with his goal. He used his own tricks and ingenuity to confront Leslie in a tense and suffocating battle of wits. In addition, Doug also discovers another shocking secret. Not only is Leslie a murderer, she is also hiding a larger conspiracy involving powerful people in the city. She uses Doug's father's death as part of a ruthless plan to achieve her personal goals, manipulating many people around her to protect her. This makes Doug's revenge not only a private matter but also a fight against a dark force, deeper than he thought. In the process of searching for the truth, Doug also gradually realizes the hidden corners of Leslie herself. She used to be a wounded girl, growing up in a family full of secrets and hatred. And those emotional wounds turned her into a cruel person, willing to do anything to protect herself. The story becomes more complicated when Doug has to face hatred while struggling with conflicting emotions in his heart. The climax of the story is when Doug confronts Leslie directly in a breathtaking confrontation. Both carry secrets, pain, and uncompromising determination. This confrontation not only decides their fate but can also ignite previously unrevealed mysteries, leading to unexpected consequences, changing the lives of many people around. In the end, Doug is faced with the most difficult choice. Can he forgive Leslie for the dark past they both experienced, or will he continue on the path of revenge, causing everything to slide further into darkness? The answer is not only the end of a story but also the beginning of a new challenging journey, where values such as love, trust and salvation are put on the scale. Doug and Leslie's story is not just a simple revenge war, but a complex picture of humanity, unhealed wounds and the inner strength to overcome darkness to find the light. Every step, every decision contains breathtaking suspense, making viewers unable to take their eyes off. Always attracted by the constantly changing, dramatic and emotional developments. After that tense confrontation, Doug begins a tumultuous inner journey. Not only does he face Leslie, but he also has to fight with himself, between intense anger and the desire to find peace. Every night, the image of his late father haunts him like a wound that never heals, urging him to not give up his determination for revenge. But deep down, another part of Doug's soul begins to open up, evoking beautiful memories, brief moments he shared with Leslie before everything collapsed. Meanwhile, Leslie refuses to be defeated. She is determined to protect the truth in her own way, using charm, intrigue and sometimes the darkest tricks to maintain her position. But it doesn't stop there. Leslie begins to dig up dark secrets from Doug's past, things he never wanted to mention, mistakes, stains that he himself wants to forget. She is like an old fox, constantly sneaking around, making the battle between them more fierce and complicated. During that process, Doug unexpectedly receives help from someone he didn't expect, an old friend of his father, who knows the whole dark story behind his father's death. This person reveals new clues, deeper conspiracies related to a powerful group behind Leslie. It's not just a personal case, but a battle between light and darkness, between justice and greed. Doug, from a lone person, suddenly becomes the center of a struggle that can change the whole city. The truth is gradually revealed, but the closer to the core, the more danger surrounds Doug and those close to him. Leslie does not hesitate to use any means, from seduction, intimidation to cruel actions to destroy all opponents. She also takes advantage of those Doug trusts to betray him, increasing the pain and loneliness. Doug's every step is now a life and death gamble, where caution and courage are tested to the extreme. Meanwhile, the relationship between Doug and Leslie becomes more complicated than ever. Brief moments of weakness, of beautiful memories from the past still exist, making it impossible for them to simplify everything into black and white. Both are caught in a vortex of chaotic emotions, between hatred and love, between forgiveness and revenge. It is not only a battle of truth, but also a battle of hearts and souls. The climax of the story reaches its climax when Doug discovers that Leslie is preparing a final move. A plot that could shake the entire city and destroy everything he loves. In a race against time, Doug must overcome all his limits, combining the power of reason and emotion to stop that plan, and find a way to save himself and his loved ones. The story gradually becomes suffocating, full of unexpected details and spectacular twists, making it impossible for viewers to predict the next developments. Every decision, every action of Doug and Leslie affects their fate and many people around them, creating a web of tension full of drama and interwoven emotions. In the end, the story does not end with pure revenge, but opens up a new horizon where those who have been hurt can learn to forgive, heal their wounds and rebuild their lives. But to get there, Doug and Leslie must go through the most severe challenges, face themselves and choose the path they really want to take. It is an emotional journey, not only a story of crime and revenge, but also a story of life, change and hope in the dark. The story between Doug and Leslie still has many things to explore. Complex conspiracies and emotions waiting to be revealed in the next episodes. If you want to continue accompanying us, watching the latest analysis, predictions and developments, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any videos. Thank you for watching. We look forward to accompanying you on this journey to discover these fascinating and emotional movie stories.